My therapist told me my depression was because I don't drink alcohol. Asked me if I tried being less anxious. My last one quit on me while I was homeless because I was too focused on being homeless and not working through 19 years of trauma at the same time. I had one ghost me after opening up about my abandonment issues. I know you brought up the possibility of you being autistic, but I don't think you should get diagnosed because you're too old for early intervention. I was 15 and struggling in school. Early needed help. My therapist said my ADHD and depression would fix itself if I just lost weight. As a therapist in training, these stories make my head spin. How do so many therapists forget the basic etiquette or ethics before hitting an office? My therapist told me I was faking my BPD because it's so rare that I must not have it. My therapist was the aunt of my bully. It didn't work out somehow. My therapist fell asleep during our session. While in therapy for PPD, she called me selfish for having suicidal ideations. She told me I was too young to be hearing voices and that I was just being a teenager when going through intense depression and mania. 9 years later, schizoaffective, confirmed also by psych. Had a therapist tell me I needed to stop being no contact with my father after I told her he starved me every time I was at his house and also hit the family dog regularly. My therapist ate her pasta salad during our session, then tried to sell her book to me during the same session. So how was the book? My therapist told me I don't have autism because I was too anxious to talk about my special interests compared to a male client he had that only talked about his special interests. After telling her everything, she said, "You look fine to me." I went to another therapist. I was with her for like 2 to 2.5 years. My therapist I had when I was 11 told my mother that coping strategies don't exist. No, I don't believe you. My therapist asked me if there's even any sense to me coming. Mine was more awkward than I was. He told me his problems. Mine ghosted me. I had a therapist tell me that just because my grandma's depressed doesn't mean I have to be when I mention genetics. She also made me write Bible verses repeatedly to make me straight. These kinds of therapists are the reasons I want to become one myself. People deserve an amazing therapist who supports them and roots for them and their success, especially with mental health issues. I told my therapist I was afraid I was too needy and told her why I felt that way, and she was like, "Yeah, you are." My therapist told me life isn't for everyone. What the heck? I had a problem with eating. When I visit my therapist for the first time, she said, "Oh, it's not that bad as I thought it was going to be." I was told autism wasn't real. I was already diagnosed and just seeking help for depression and letting her know. At 12, my therapist told me to lock all my feelings in a box and hide it away. Oh my gosh, I'm reading these comments and I cannot believe, how were they certified? Were they taught nothing? Unbelievable.